The last Monday of July is a day for us to come again and tell you the good tidings that we are having on Ladies Rendezvous. Ladies Rendezvous comes every Monday and we bring good things to you because we want you to get informed, know what is happening in the society, and also be grounded, especially as you make impact in the society. My name is Charity James. On this program today, we'll be having just one segment, and that segment is the issue of the day segment, where we bring to you something topical. And today we want to look at why our youth are not employable. We want to look at what is the gap between being employed and the workforce. What is the gap between the employer and the employees? And we have a guest in the house who will be doing justice to that. And after the break, we introduce the guest to you and my colleague on the program. So let's go for this break. When we come back, we'll know who our guest is and who my pair is on the program today. All right, you're welcome to the issue of the day. I have Lara Emmanuel here, the clock it.
This is like a
clock it. Lara will be clocking it with the guest today.
Clock it. But let's not dwell so much on the clock it aspect. Let's just take a little bit of the guest profile. It's very humbling, very thrilling to see women winning. I went through this and I couldn't stop owning. Is there a word like owning? Okay, we have Munirat Ashubiaro. She's a Nigerian entrepreneur. She's building the infrastructure that connects Africa Talent to global opportunity. She's the founder and the chief executive officer of Staff Link Global, and she manages a remote workforce infrastructure company that sources, vets, deploys, and manages African professionals for talents around the world. What a very beautiful one. And then now let's just move on quickly to our leadership spec and role. Under our leadership, the company operates across 6 professional departments covering operations and administration, customer successes and sales, software and engineering, data and product, marketing and creativity, and also finance and legal. I also have, rather than stopping that introduction, Stafflink Global manages each engagement to end and takes responsibilities for delivery. We have such a very beautiful woman here who isn't just an entrepreneur. She's tech savvy. She's all in all, she's just the whole package. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Munira. Thank you for joining us on Ladies Rendezvous. And we had to read that profile to let our viewers know that youth are doing what they are supposed to do to build other professionals. And we want to look at building, developing career-ready professionals. That's our focus on the program. And Munira will be taking us through what youth, especially those she has encountered, really need to fit into the digital world, and especially the remote jobs that we have here and there. You're welcome again, Munira.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, starting, let's look at why you chose this path, developing career-ready professionals. Why do you think professionals are not really career-ready? What are the gaps you've seen? And what have you intended doing? What do you have in mind doing to bridge this gap?
All right, thank you so much. So 5 years ago, I started my career as a remote worker. I was an executive assistant and I work for people in America. I've worked for a lot of people across the world, and I see the gap. I see how African talent, Nigerians, everybody are being underestimated. They are being undervalued because we come from this part of the world and I feel like we cannot actually deliver. And from the look of things, we're actually trying to make it look like, yes, they are judged, whatever they are judging us is actually very right, because we tend to make that mistake of, oh, okay, fine, because I have the skills, that is what I feel would actually get me there, without having
the proper readiness to the world itself, to the remote world itself. So I see when I try to pitch Nigerians or Africa into the system, they are kind of like a trust issue when it comes to that. So that was why I decided, okay, instead of we trying to prove to these people, why not we just create a system where they can actually believe the system than the people? And that was actually what built this whole Staffing Global and every other stuff that I'm actually doing, because it is difficult. A lot of people out there are struggling to get jobs, and it boils down to the fact that most of them are not doing it the right way, and that is one of the things I really want to actually put out there. They are not doing it the right way, and if I tell people, you have like a farmland and you want to like make a farming, you want to make a bedding, you can't just go with your bare hands. There has to be processes and policies and stuff to it, which are things that people are not getting right, and that is why we're finding ourselves in a position where people are not really getting into the system properly, into the remote work system properly.
So how is that really working out, Munira? How is the trust issue? How is it going? Because I want to believe that this trust issue is not coming from the outsiders, the foreigners alone. Even amongst ourselves, we barely trust each other. We have that trust issue. So how have you been able to overcome that challenge? Because it's a big deal for Africans, really.
Yeah, it's really, really a big deal. So the first thing we realize is we have a system already. Everybody is having the part where they give you a talent and then they answer. So I was like, okay, instead of me creating another system where I'm actually going to give you that, why not I just stay involved? I take accountability. So that's what we do. That was the step further that we actually did, is by taking accountability. So when we have a talent, when we have somebody in the African ecosystem that we're placing into your system, we're not just handing them over and telling you, oh, okay, bye-bye, just pay us and let go. We're taking all the downfall and everything that comes with it. So that way we've been able to build the trust, because it's not like the part where you hire from any platform and then they leave you to your fate. We are monitoring, we're making sure they are there, we're making sure they are being active. You understand what I'm saying? And that's exactly what we've put in place that has actually helped us with the trust.
Okay, let's talk about these remote jobs that we have here and there. And it is the in thing, if we don't want to deceive ourselves now, it is either hybrid or you are into it a pathway, you are into it fully, or you are physically at your workplace these days. And most times hybrid thrive because people want to pick some days that they will be physical, some days they will be online. So what mistakes have you seen those youth who go for remote jobs do? They tend to thrive when it comes to some parts, but in other parts they are frustrated. What have you been able to do, or what gaps have you seen in that area?
Yes, it started from the grassroots.
Okay.
A lot of people are complaining they don't have a job when your CV, your resume is not properly done. I was trying to hire for somebody here in Ogun State, and I asked people in Ogun State precisely to send me their resume. I was very, very disappointed, 100% disappointed, because tell me why you have a resume.
Yeah? Not one person.
Not one person. I got like 20, and I can tell you that 18% were trash. Because tell me why you want to apply for a job. You cannot use, I tell people, this is 2026. You can't use one resume to apply for two kind of jobs. Okay. I might be looking for a virtual assistant. You might be looking for a virtual assistant. What you need as a virtual assistant is different from what I need.
Sure.
So you need, if you want to apply for my job, if you want to apply for your job, you have to tailor your resume to fit in our job description. They don't do that. They just feel like,
so
one
resume can't serve.
No. If you want to apply for 100 jobs per day, you have to have 100 resumes.
Okay.
Because every single detail, there are keywords in every job description, which has to be in your resume. Now, if you have this particular resume that's saying, oh, okay, I can only use Asana, and I'm looking for somebody that can use ClickUp. There's no ClickUp in your resume. You've proven to me you don't know you don't have what I'm looking for. Obviously, I won't hire you. So for every job that you want to apply for, there has to be a tailored resume. That is the first mistake I see a lot of people actually make. Immediately you tell them there's a job, they just pick their resume and just send it. And at the end of the day, it's off track. Now, if I am not going to get what I need from you, I have no business calling you back. So when I see a lot of people complaining, there are remote jobs out there, but how do you approach it? How do you make sure that your CV is being seen? Because we're in the digital space. Nobody is ready to sit down with 300 CVs and start going through. They use an AI, an ATS system. And what I always build an ATS system myself. And the only thing we tell them is look for these particular keywords.
And that's it.
And that's it. Now imagine sending your resume with that. Obviously, you can move to the next stage. And that's why we have a lot of people being ignored, not being called back, and the like. So that is the first stage, and that is the gap, and that is the first thing I tell people.
Even with their degrees from schools.
Degree now doesn't, especially if you're looking to go into the remote work, your degree is nothing. We don't care. We don't care about if you have BSc. What we want to know is the skills. If I'm looking for a software developer, I don't care if you go to the best school to go and study whatever you study. What I want to see in your job experience is how many work have you done, what have you achieved. And that's another thing in resume. Everybody just what in your resume there has to be like a positive outcome. When I see your resume, I see that okay, you're joining this person as a social media manager, and in the space of 6 months that you work there, you were able to grow their page from 0 to 100. That is me being confident, saying yes, I can employ you because you know what you want to do. But you see a lot of resume, it's just all about me. Oh, okay, I'm this, I'm that. And I tell people, please understand that you are not doing the person a favor hiring you. They are doing you a favor. So you have to make it about them. And that is why I tell a lot of youth out there is before you apply, try and make sure you know more about the company. It's not everybody that put their details out there, but at least understand the role. You understand what I'm saying? And that is for the CV part. Now, the other thing is the cover letter.
Okay.
They have like a template already. Everybody just push like a generic. I saw like almost the same thing. And I was like, what? Why would your cover letter not complement your resume? It has to, because they are doing the same thing. So that again is the mistake I see. Then the third one is portfolio. See, resume is the smallest of all.
Okay.
I can sit down here and generate 100 resume right here. But I need proof. So that is portfolio. I was surprised. Augusta people don't have portfolio. No, please, I don't have portfolio.
Sorry, what do you mean by
why are you hammering on Ogun State?
Because
don't you deal with other states?
I do, but it was an opportunity for me that time to showcase my state.
Okay.
I was so proud of Ogun State. I was telling the person, no, you are in Ogun State. We are getting somebody here in Ogun State. Don't worry, we're not going out. We're not looking for somebody that is going to do it any other state. But at some point, I had to go to Lagos to get who I want to get. So it's always in my head, like, what is going on in my state? Why are people not getting informed properly about how to do the right thing? So when we get to the portfolio part and they don't have portfolio, that was when I knew.
What exactly is a portfolio?
Okay, so
I know about the profile, I know about the cover letter, and now you're talking about the portfolio.
Yeah, so portfolio is like where you put all your job experience. If you want to show me that you build a website, there has to be like a website or a link where I can see your previous work. So that is what a portfolio is. So most times people tend to see your resume. It's always AI centric and stuff like that. But your portfolio might actually do the work your resume might not do, you understand? So what your portfolio will actually do for you is just show that, oh, okay, if I am looking for an executive assistant that want to do calendar management, your portfolio will show me that you've done calendar management. So it's more or less like just like an evidence of work that you've actually done. So every professional,
like a store for what
like a store for what you have done. So that is why now we always tell professionals and we always tell talent to make sure you have it before and after. Document your work. You're documenting your work is not because we just want to stress you. We're telling you to document your work because we want to make sure that when the opportunity comes and I tell you that, oh, okay, I need the service from you, you can open up and tell me, oh, okay, this is exactly how I did it for somebody. You understand? I understand there are some parts where you cannot show because of confidence or stuff like that. And trust me, what I tell people is a lot of apps will give you 14 days free trial. You can do it on your own, screenshot it. Just for me, the only thing the portfolio will make is just like a step forward to let me be sure that you've really done this thing. It's not just the paperwork. This is me seeing that you've actually done this thing. So those are the mistakes I've seen a lot of people actually, like, they're kind of it's not Ogun State people, almost everybody generally, but I'm just being concerned about my state because we need to actually put that into practice, and it's just so saddening that we're not getting it right yet. We're not getting it right yet.
Do you think there's a reason for that? The huge gap between the labor market here in Ogun State and that in Lagos State?
First of all, going to say yes, there's a huge gap, and it's because one thing first is we're kind of very informed when it comes to Lagos State. I was telling somebody, almost every week there's always a tech event you go that you're going to learn something new. Almost every week there's always one tech event or the other that you are going to sit and listen that would enlighten you. We hardly have that here. So it is mostly they're going online, and you know how social media can actually be misinforming at times. Like you might feel like, oh, this person would say this, then the next person would say, everybody just want to trend, everybody just want to make the money off social media, and they don't care about the impact of whatever they are saying is going to, how it's going to come out. So I feel like, because you know how easy it is for us to get information in Lagos, it has actually helped a lot of people. Because when I talk to remote workers, when people come to Staffing Global, I hardly see people from Ogun State actually. Hardly. They are always from Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt. I hardly see people from Ogun State.
So how do you bring all of this to Ogun State? Because it's saddening when you say we have a lot of youths here. And I know that there are tech companies, there are tech academies all over here in Ogun State. What do you want to do differently? I know that you want to create impact. That's why we called you, and you came, and you want to tell people what is obtainable in the remote, especially having remote jobs and having the right ones. So what do you think can be done at this moment? This is 21st century, and we shouldn't say one state is not at the top, the other states are at the top when it comes to having the readily made professionals for this job.
Okay, so the plan is to actually come to Ogun State and have like a tech conference that can get everybody well informed, and the team is called Career Clinic. So what we intend to actually do is we don't want it to be the next conference where everybody just sits, just speak. We want to create like a live demo where we can show you how to tailor your resume, a live demo on how to actually work on your LinkedIn, a live demo on how a proper
LinkedIn is there.
I remember the last time I logged onto that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. So these are things we need to actually bring, because LinkedIn is, if you are looking for a remote job, TikTok, Instagram, nah. LinkedIn, that is B2B, business to business. So that is where a lot of founders, that is where they close deal. So if you are looking for a job, your profile has to speak for you. And these are things that people just overlook because they feel like, oh, LinkedIn is a lie. Yeah, it is how you place yourself. You understand what I'm saying? LinkedIn might be full of everybody trying to make it look like they're living a better life, but it is how you position yourself. And I tell my students, I tell anybody around me, position yourself very well in such a way that once a recruiter comes to your page, they find value. So once you're dropping value, trust me, you will get noticed. And that's one thing again about social media. Why I always say LinkedIn is because of the fact that founders, people that are trying to recruit, their first to go is always LinkedIn. It's not like you can't get on other platforms, but you know how other platforms are compared to LinkedIn. So these are the things we're trying to bring to Ogun State. That opportunity where we can actually show people how it is properly done, how to get noticed, how to not get ghosted, how to do it the right way. And so that's the plan for.
Do we have age brackets of these people who are missing out? Because a lot of people will say fresh graduates are not employable.
And we have the hashtag now, the new hashtag, Olodo Uprising. So, all of this targeted at the young ones in the labor market. And there's this target, there's this view that people have, even individuals have, about the Nigerian youth. The trust issue, the unemployability, Olodo uprising. It's just too much of negativity.
Yeah, so those are the things we're trying to actually work on, because the Olodo uprising, it's for real. It's really, really for real. You even see those that actually have, they are very good on paper, their CV is good, but when you put them in the system, you are like, no, what is actually going on? Because I feel like the Gen Z thing is always making them feel like, oh, okay, but that's just by the way. So the plan is to make sure that we actually get everybody informed. So the age gap is going to be anybody that is employable. Actually, I'm sure an 18-year-old can actually get a remote work. If I always tell people, as soon as you are actually employable, you can actually take part in the conference that we're planning to bring to Ogun State, because we're not going to limit it to anybody. Everybody can learn. Even those people in secondary school, we want them to come so that they would get informed. It's not when they are very close to graduating, so cut them young. You understand? So that is the plan. We don't want to have like an age gap. We want it to be open, where people can actually come in, learn, and even prepare our future leaders about what exactly should be done right.
How exactly are you intending to make these individuals know about this? Because there's just this lacking, there's this gap when it comes to communication in Ogun State, something I've actually been a victim of. Do you know that I know about events that happen in Lagos? I get wind of events that happen in Lagos faster than things that happen here in Abeokuta or even Ogun State at large. So what are you doing about that, so as to carry as many people as you can along?
Okay, so the first thing is, if we are in the area of influencers, a lot of them are in Lagos, so we need to actually start making them understand that we have building in Ogun State. Yeah, I hardly know anybody.
There's an association.
So now that is not the point now, but mostly what we see on social media are always those people outside Ogun State. So those people that are in Ogun State has to come out and start showing us that we are here.
They are doing that. It might be you're along with them. They are doing that.
Because I'm always like, why are we not having people talking about some kind of information? Like, you hear some things and you're like, why are we not getting this in my state? Why? Everybody knows me. They know me. I always carry my state. Like, everybody knows me. They know me. Even my friend knows that when they say Munia, they say, oh my God, they know me. That's my first thing. So I'm always like, why are we not having? But if we do have, these are the people we have to put. We have to make them understand that, oh, okay, fine, sure, it's going to be a lot of money because nobody wants to work for free, you understand? So we have to actually let them put that. Then a lot of media information, we have to just keep doing like social media platform, running ads and making sure every TV station, radio station in Ogun State keep hammering, oh, okay, this event is coming up, this particular, and the importance of the event, because if you tell me an event is coming up and I don't understand why this event is actually coming up, obviously I won't be interested. So we have to, the way they do it is they make us to see the reasons for us to attend, and that is the kind of thing we're going to bring it in. Let them see reason why they have to. This is your future. This is not about you finishing and trying to get a job, and at the end of the day you're like, oh, I can't get a job. We're putting you in that position where you have to get that job. We're going to equip you with everything that needs you to get the job. So
let's talk about the skills now that young people really need. This is 21st century. We shouldn't kid ourselves. There are a lot of jobs, tech related jobs, and that is why we're talking about remote jobs these days. And a lot of professionals, even the engineers, the lawyers, the doctors, are into using technology. So what really is the skills that these young people must have first before they think about having professions that are grounded in tech?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them knows what they want.
Okay.
Because if I start mentioning, I have a lot of people that are into software development and stuff like that. But I think what people actually need to work on the most is their soft skills, which is what soft skills. A lot of people are building their technical skills.
I mean, examples of the soft skills?
Yeah, so when we talk about critical thinking, proactiveness, communication. Now, as a remote worker, these are the things.
Soft skill for certain individuals might be like the major skill for me. You just mentioned communication. That's like my major skill. So that's why I said mention. I mean, give examples.
Yes, because a lot of people are building their technical skills. They are so good. But when it comes to relating to your boss or your clients, they have a very bad attitude. So these are soft skills, and if you cannot relate, communicate properly, and your technical skills is nothing to write home about. So I don't want to make mention of the technical skill because I've seen a lot of people that knows what they want, they know what they are doing.
But
they are very good, but their soft skill is nothing to write home about. There are people that will wait for you to tell them the next thing. As a remote worker, you need to be proactive. Before I see the problem, you have to see the problem. Now, they are not proactive enough to actually be able to understand that, oh, this is the next thing I need to do. There are some that don't even have, like, they want you to always do the thinking for them because they believe, oh, okay, I'll just do this part. So the skill part, the technical skills is being taken care of mostly. But you see the soft skill, that is where we have the issue. That is where they need to build themselves on. For every job out there, there's always a particular technical, a soft skill that goes with it. Me being an executive assistant, first one is proactiveness. The second one is communication, because I am frontlining the boss, you understand? I'm like his second brain. So anything that he's going to think about, I have to be the first person to think about it. I have access to founders' emails. So I see a lot of things. And that's proved to me that I have to be confidentiality. Now imagine me seeing something, I'm like, ooh, I call my friend, okay, this is how it's done. And these are the mistakes I see. So confidentiality and trust, those are things that, so that is why I'm not putting more effort on the technical skill, because it's always been taken care of. But please let us make sure that our soft skill too, while we're building our technical skill, let us build our soft skills, because that is what we're actually going to. If you don't have passion for your work at times, it's going to make you crazy. It's the passion that will just keep you going. So passion is still part of your soft skill. If you don't have that, you just give up and you have nothing to write home about at the end of the day.
Okay, now if you could, do you have?
Yes, I want to ask her something. I want to just let us back forward a little bit. Before becoming a professional, you have to go through certain trainings or school.
Yeah.
Okay, now myself, I just got released into the lion's den without being prepared, and I'm no Daniel, actually. So most of us, most of the youngsters, we go to school or go for trainings, and you're just being taught by the book. You read to pass. You don't have these skills that you just mentioned.
Practical ones.
No, practicals, thank you. None of these skills are being instilled in us in school. Maybe some of the lecturers are committed enough to do that. Maybe not. And it's not even a course. Yes, we had GSTs, the general studies and all that, but still we didn't have all of these soft skills, the communication skills that you mentioned. So what exactly do you think can be done? Maybe by parents, if not necessarily the school authorities or the training centers, by the parents, by the guardians, for their kids, for their words, for their young ones, maybe when they are on holidays, so they can have some of these skills and make them complete individuals. So by the time they are graduate or they complete their trainings, they are ready for the labor market, for the real world.
Oh, okay, all right. So now this is a very big topic, and I would say a lot of people, most especially parents out there, once they are on summer break, the next thing is you're putting them in the next class. You want them to read for the next class. They're still going to teach them. There are other things you can engage them. There are public speaking courses that your children can actually take. Public speaking, let them mix up with people. Let them learn how to properly speak in public. Let them learn all those things that are not the educational part. You're taking them to go and learn the mathematics they are still going to teach them. Why are you trying to, you understand what I'm saying? So that is one thing I see. I always advise people, because we catch them young. There are some children that cannot properly express themselves. If you notice that your child cannot express yourself, look for places where they can actually learn that skills. You don't have to push them back to school. You know that, oh, okay, fine, I have a child that is being timid, finding it difficult to speak in front of people. Then you should actually be able to find yourself a public speaking. Look for somebody that can, oh, okay, fine. It might be 10 of them. There are some people that love private, but for people like that, I always advise parents to actually put them in a group of classes where they teach them how to talk properly. These are ways in which we build, because soft skills are not things. If you come to my academy, I'm not going to teach you soft skills. I'm just going to let you know these are the skills that you need to actually try as this particular person. You are the one that needs to build yourself on it, and you can't build that in class. That's the one. So soft skills are not built in class, and we have to start from catching them young. there are a lot, like I said, there are a lot of coaching centers out there that deals with soft skills, majorly soft skills, which parents can actually look out for that and then enroll their children.
Okay. Let's talk about the future now of Career Link, Career Clinic, and Staff Link. What do you think you want to do differently now in the society? You've spoken glowingly about Lagos State and Abuja and Port Harcourt. Here in Ogun State, you want to see a different ballgame. According to the example she made the other time, he said out of the 20 CVs that you got, only 2, he said 18 were trash. That's what you said. How do you make this resume or portfolios and the other one you spoke about speak for itself when it comes to the youth in Ogun State? What do you want to see change? And how regular do you want to be doing this seminar? Because we don't want it to be a one-off thing. You just come, have a seminar and go back. We need it to regularly so that youth can know that there's someone who is in here to change our story, to go to the future with us, so to say.
Okay, so like I said the other time, the plan for Career Clinic is not to just have sections, panels.
Okay.
It is to have a live demo of how things are being properly done. We're going to bring out the resume and we're going to show you how to properly do it. Experts would come, and actually those people in the HR space would come and show you how to actually do it. Portfolio, we are going to show you how to build your portfolio from the scratch. And the funny part is some people has portfolio, but when you see it, you just laugh. Because for me, I'm this kind of person. I know automation, I know project management, I know a lot of stuff. So my first mistake ever was when I was trying to build my portfolio, because I wanted to impress that I know a lot. So I was hiding everything. So when I showed it to my mentor, my mentor said, if you were the hiring manager, will you hire yourself? Because it was too much. Now, there are people that has like 2 to 3 different technical skills. They are software developer, they are project managers and the likes. I tell people it doesn't work like that. Your resume for software development has nothing to do with project management.
Different profession.
It has to be different. You have to separate it. So if you know 10 things together, as long as the job you're trying to submit your CV for is just one particular skill, remove every other thing, including your portfolio. So these are the things we're bringing. And like I said, it's not going to be a panel. Yeah, we're going to have panel section where people are going to talk, but it's mostly going to be a live demo. Let us show them how this is properly done. Let us bring people that are in the system. They are actually experts to show them how to properly do it. Your LinkedIn, your resume, and every other thing. So that is the plan.
Lara, we should go back to our LinkedIn. I resuscitate it.
I actually did. I did that last year. I know I reopened it, a lot of back and forth, the emails, I forgot my password. And then again, I forgot about it. I think I should just keep doing it. It's a little bit boring. The place is a little bit boring.
Very.
It is, but you know that there are opportunities there. It might just be one single post that can get you to an international gig.
Because I just kept posting and nothing was happening, and then the person
You have to keep going.
I will try. I will going.
That means consistency is one of the skills that
Yes.
put in place
I will try. You mentioned a lot of tech jargons, and I actually feel left out. So is the Career Link, is it just for techie people?
No,
some of us that do other
professions?
Other kind of,
it's actually for everybody, because it's not only tech people that are trying to get job. Everybody. It's not everybody. I have somebody that doesn't want to work remotely. She just wants to leave the house and come back. That's her own kind of sanity. But for me, I work remotely. I hardly step out. I might not step out. I might not see the sun in the next 3 months because I work remotely. My company is remote. Even my staffs, if I tell you that we only meet once in a month, everybody's working remotely. You understand? So it's for everybody. It's because we can't force everybody to work remotely.
Even if I don't have a tech background, I don't know anything about all the things you've been saying.
No, because at the end of the day, your resume doesn't mean you have to have only tech background.
Okay.
You might want to apply for the next job here in whatever state, whatever city we have here, and you have to tailor your resume, so you have to know how it's properly done. So that is why we're opening the space to everybody.
Okay, before we allow you leave, because your time for this segment is up, but we have one question for you. What will be your impact? You mentioned secondary school children, those graduates, those who are still in school, even those working. You said there's no age bracket to learning these things. So what is your vision for the society when it comes to career and getting career ready professionals for all professions that we have in the world?
For me, with the vision I have with Staffling Global, I would say my vision is to make sure that African talents are not being underestimated anymore. I want to get us to the part where we have the hot cake, because presently Philippines are the hot cake. If you know anybody that is working remotely, we struggle with Philippines. Any job, the first person, before they consider us, they consider the Philippines. So I want to get us to the part where we don't have to
shift. I would have guessed maybe the Indians.
Not really. The Indians are very difficult to actually communicate with.
Okay, communications.
They are very, very difficult to communicate with. So it is easier for you to communicate with Philippines. Because like I said, I work remotely and I've helped my boss hire a lot of people. We've gotten people from India, Pakistani, that it was the communication. And another thing is they are gender biased. So once they notice that you're a female, they kind of not want to. So that part. So every single remote worker can understand that we compete mostly with the Filipinos, like we compete a lot. So that is the vision, is to make sure we put African talent in the front line. You need anybody anywhere across the world, the first think of, okay, I think I'm going to get somebody in Africa to do this for me. That is, you can't be scared of being scammed. Oh, that's the trust issue we are building. So without being scared of being scammed, or my secret is going to be used against me or stuff like that.
My data stolen and all that.
So that is the main vision.
Okay, thank you, Munirat Ashubiaro, for coming on the program. But we will allow you leave, because the next segment of the program, we'll do it together. And we'll be talking about some things that we saw on social media, and we want your input on that. So you stay with us on the program. We'll go for the short break. When we come back, we'll continue with Around the World.